Crimson Chrysalis, The Resurrection, brought to you by the Nevada Arts Council and the National Endowment for the Arts. I'm Dave DeKesh. You will rise again, my mortal dust. Gustav Mahler, Resurrection Symphony No. 2. It's a beautiful day today, absolutely hissing with warmth and possibility. Everything is outside me now, and I like it that way. I don't internalize anything anymore. I can see my environment from a whole new perspective, one in which I can, at last, view others in their own right. Instead of thinking, well, I wonder what they think about me, I'm looking at them and seeing what they are, how they think, and what motivates them. This whole place, I love it. It's got a feel about it, a funky air about it. Built in 1958, Las Vegas was when America was at its nadir in the world power, prestige, and growth. Just when the 5 Rockefeller brothers assumed the throne from the apologist David Rockefeller Jr. Yes, there was no thought given to water conservation here, no apologies here. It speaks to America at its peak in the 50s, when growth was sure to come in torrents down the pike, possibly, and great potential came palatable in the 50s. The horrid 40s and 30s were over now, and coming the wondrous 60s. Growth seemed surely in the offing. It speaks to me in some way in which I can't define at all. Get your copy now. Crimson Chrysalis by Dave DeKesh. Sponsored in part by the National Endowment for the Arts. It's a limited edition. Fine art prose. Get your copy now. I went to the bathroom to floss my teeth, and there inside is a faded yellow sticker on the back metal panel of the medicine cabinet that has been there for years and years in nicely matching gold and brown lettering, almost to complement the oxidation of the paper. It says, Permabuilt, Steel Products Company, Los Angeles, No. 1, California, as permanent as the pyramids. Bathroom cabinet has a pyramid in the background with the name boldly over it, rising lettering, one letter slightly larger than the former, rising as is America. The white sliding mirror cabinet is all heavy gauge steel, made to last. The feeling of permanency does permeate through the whole structure. The ambiance speaks of a solid America as before. The complex was nice in the 50s here in Vegas. The strippers and cocktail waitresses probably lived here, not far from work. This building was uptown then, right next to the Sahara and the new glittering Riviera. They may have even sunbathed nude right here in the little enclosed courtyard here in Naked City. This building was uptown then, right next to the Sahara. And the new glittering Riviera. They may have even sunbathed nude right here in the little enclosed courtyard, right here in Naked City. They got the name because of all the tour buses going through. They would look out the windows and see the strippers and cocktail waitresses out sunbathing in the nude to make sure their cleavage was tan. Of course, back in those days with Bugsy Siegel and the mob-controlled Las Vegas, no tanning booths available. The strippers had to do what they had to do to survive, to make it amenable to all the high rollers that would come in from out of town. Get your copy now. Crimson Chrysalis by Dave DeKesh. Sponsored in part by the National Endowment for the Arts. It's a limited edition. Yet at the same time, the complex eschews the flamboyant ostentatiousness of the 70s. The building layout is simple and convenient, not flashy luxury of one constructed with love and tenderness. There is a given fairness to this place that is indescribable. Fine art prose. Get your copy now. Only at Arragon Publishing. I love that feel about it. For the smoke hood for the stove, the steel is heavy gauge. The layout is sprawling ranch, which uses more space but offers privacy and comfort. When I saw it as I was driving by, I said to myself, now there is a happy building. This building was uptown then, right next to the Sahara and the new glittering Riviera. They may have even sunbathed nude right here in the little enclosed courtyard, right here in Naked City. It got the name because of all the tour buses going through. They would look out the windows and see the strippers and cocktail waitresses out sunbathing in the nude to make sure their cleavage was tan. And see the strippers and cocktail waitresses out sunbathing in the nude to make sure their cleavage was tan. Of course, back in those days with Bugsy Siegel and I saw Anna on the strippers had to do what they had to do. She didn't see me but to survive. She did think there was someone there, but she didn't want to look around. She kept her eyes straight. She was not going to succumb to mere paranoia. I followed her down the stairs quietly, waiting for her to proceed, slowly sipping my coffee, observing her slow motions in a whole new way. It seemed as though I knew what she was thinking. After all, I could hear her up early in the mornings. I saw her the other day. She bent over petting and tending to her cats inside her apartment next to mine. I know everything about Anna. Finally, she got to the bottom of the stairs just now. Her arduous journey took forever. As she turned the corner to proceed along the walk, she clasped the banister with her arthritic fingers, knuckles white with fear of falling. She knew there was someone there. She knew it after all. Anna's knuckles white with fear of falling, perhaps breaking a hip. She quickly looked up in surprise after catching my looming form out of the corner of her eye. She was not wrong after all. She did sense someone was there. I slowly began moving up behind her to pass her on the way to work. She seemed so startled. Her pretty big blue eyes snapped open in surprise at my quick movement. She smiled broadly, recognizing me suddenly. She said, "Oh my, I didn't hear you at all. In fact, I never hear you. I'm hard of hearing, though." Her questioning look formed deep in the wrinkles of her face and her sparkling black irises, the one which she always has, as though she wanted me to formulate an answer for her. How could I tell her how well she heard? She's so befuddled. So one gazes in mild wonderment into the still water, only to be amazed at the near-perfect reflection of the procession from within the water. It is rendered in the obverse. Now the bow juts insolently up in concordance with the occupant's hip. The line is now straight along the gunwale back to the last occupant in the stern. She is the focus. There, the green water, the green foliage, the yellow sun meld into the blue of her pooling dress. She seems now pressed in and down, not in anticipation of the fish, but as the crux of the painting. Sparks of red fly off her brim, to the right into the deeper, darker, richer green of the gently opening glade. Invitation to the cool shade therein with concealment. It's private there, it's peaceful, and in repose there, among the pleasing, deeper green garden. They're talking about the new Guggenheim Heritage Museum in the Venetian. I want to see it. It's an important cultural event. The director says that it's important to make people know that art is the most important thing in the world. Globalization in culture is the ultimate good aspect of the world. He is right. Get your copy now. Crimson Chrysalis by Dave DeKesh. Sponsored in part by the National Endowment for the Arts. It's a limited edition. Fine art prose. Get your copy now. Only at Arragon Publishing.